Chapter 13 Denunciation of Wealth. Rama continued. O sage, here wealth is reckoned a blessing, yet she is the cause of our troubles and errors. She bears away like a river in the rainy season. All high-spirited simpletons are overpowered by her current. Her daughters are anxieties fostered by many a bad deed, like the waves of a stream raised by winds. She can never stand steady on her legs anywhere, but like a wretched woman who has burnt her feet, she limps from one place to another. Wealth, like a lamp, both burns and blackens its owner until it is extinguished by its own flame. She is unapproachable like princes and fools, and likewise as favorable as they to her adherents, without scanning their merits or faults. She begets only evils in them, by their various acts, as good milk when given to serpents serves to increase the strength of their poison. Men are gentle and kind-hearted to friends and strangers, until their hearts are hardened by their riches, which like blasts of wind serve to stiffen frost. As brilliant gems are soiled by dust, so are the learned, the brave, the grateful, the mild, and the gentle corrupted by riches. Riches do not lead to happiness, but redound to sorrow and destruction, as the plant aconite, when nourished, hides fatal poison in itself. A rich man without blemish, a brave man devoid of vanity, and a master lacking partiality are the three rarities on earth. The rich are as inaccessible as the dark cave of a huge serpent, and as unapproachable as the deep wilderness of Vindhya mountain inhabited by fierce elephants. Riches, like the shadow of night, overcast the good qualities of men, and like moonlight, bring to bloom the buds of their misery. Like a hurricane, they blow away the brightness of a fair prospect. Riches resemble a sea with huge surges. They bring a cloud of fear and error upon us, increase the poison of despondence and regret, and are like dreadful snakes in the field of our choice. Rama continued. Fortune is a frost to those who are bound to asceticism, and is like the night to the owls of libertinism. She is an eclipse to the moonlight of reason, and like moonbeams to the bloom of the lilies of folly. She is as transitory as the rainbow, and as pleasant to see by the play of her colors. She is as fickle as lightning, which vanishes as quickly as it appears. Hence, none but the ignorant have reliance on her. She is as unsteady as a well-born maiden following a base-born man to the woods. She is like a mirage that tempts runaways to fall to it. Unsteady as a wave, she is never steady in any place like the flickering flame of a lamp. So her leaning is known to nobody. She, like the lioness, is ever quick to fight, and like the leader of elephants, she is favorable to her partisans. She is as sharp as the blade of a sword, and she is the patroness of sharp-witted sharpsters. Rama continued, I see no joy in uncivil prosperity, which is full of treachery and replete with every kind of danger and trouble. It is pity that prosperity is like a shameless wench, who will again lay hold of a man who has abandoned her for her revile poverty. What has she with all her loveliness and attraction of human hearts, but a momentary thing obtained by all manner of evil means, and resembling at best a flower shrub growing out of a cave, inhabited by a snake, and beset by reptiles all about its stem. Chapter 14. Denunciation of Human Life. Rama continued to speak. Human life is as frail as a drop of water trembling on the tip of a leaflet. Life, breaking loose from its bodily imprisonment out of its proper season, is as irrepressible as a raving madman. The lives of those whose minds are infected by the poison of worldly affairs, and who are incapable of judging for themselves, are only causes for their torment. Those knowing the knowable and resting in the all-pervading spirit and acquiescing alike to their wants and gains enjoy lives of perfect tranquility. We, who have a certain belief that we are only limited beings, can have no enjoyment in our transient lives, which are only flashes of lightning in the cloudy sky of the world. It is as impossible to confine the winds or tear the sky to pieces, or wreath waves into a garland, as it is to place any reliance upon our lives. Fast as the fleeting clouds in autumn, and short as the light of lamp without oil, our lives appear to pass away, as impermanent as rolling waves in the sea. Rather attempt to lay hold of the moon's shadow on the waves, or the fleeting lightning in the sky, or the ideal lotus blossoms in the ether, than ever place any reliance upon this unsteady life. Men of restless minds, desiring to prolong their useless and toilsome lives, resembled the barren she-mule conceived by a horse. Rama continued. This world, samsara, is as a whirlpool in the ocean of creation, and every individual body is as impermanent as foam, froth, or a bubble, which can give me no relish in this life. True living is gain, which is worth gaining, which has no cause of sorrow or remorse, and which is a state of transcendental tranquillity. There is a vegetable life in plants and an animal life in beasts and birds. Man leads a thinking life, but true life is above thoughts. All those living beings who are being born here, once do not return, are said to have lived well in this earth. The rest are no better than old asses. Knowledge is a burden to the unthinking, and wisdom is burdensome to the passionate. Intellect is a heavy load to the restless, and the body is a ponderous burden to one ignorant of his soul. A good person possessed of life, mind, intellect, and self-consciousness and its occupations is of no benefit to the unwise, but seem to weigh down on the unwise as if he were a porter. The discontented mind is the great arena of all evils, and the nesting place of diseases, which alight upon it like birds of the air. Such a life is the abode of toil and misery. Rama continued. As a house is slowly dilapidated by mice, continually burrowing under it, so is the body of the living gradually corroded by the teeth of time boring within it. Deadly diseases breed within the body, feed upon our vital breath, like poisonous snakes born in caves of the woods, consume the meadow air. As the withered tree is perforated by small worms residing in them, so our bodies are continually wasted by many inborn diseases and harmful secretions. Death is constantly staring and growling at our face, as a cat looks and purrs at a mouse in order to devour it. Old age wastes us as such. A glutton digests his food, and it reduces one to weakness in as an old harlot left, with no charm other than her makeup and perfumes. Youth forsakes us as soon as a good man, who after a few days learns of his wicked friend's faults, abandons him in disgust. Death, the lover of destruction and friend of old age and ruin, like the sensual man, as a lecher likes beauty. Thus, there is nothing so worthless in the world as this life, which is devoid of every good quality and ever subject to death, unless it is attended by the permanent joy of liberation.